Greetings travellers, in this vid I'd like to do a bit of a before and after comparison to see how my bases have fared after the Worlds 2 update. My first stop was Zaratan, which was a base that I had built just after the Worlds 1 update, and this one I was most worried about. I chose this planet primarily for its beautiful blue seas and its Ghibli-esque skies, plus the fact that it took me ages to build. After the update, we can see that the seas have changed a little bit in colour, but now we get these lovely reflections of the clouds and the sky onto the water, which actually kind of adds to the effect, I think. There are these large plants that are now protruding from the water, but that's not really a deal breaker, I don't think. Maybe that gives the turtle something to munch on. And if we have a look under the water, we can see some of the new lighting effects, these really lovely psychedelic colours, and some new flora and fauna. I think the reason the water was so murky was that there was a storm going on above, and here we can see some of the new wave and foam effects as well. The next base was a little one I made for a short little homage to Planet of the Apes called Maniacs. It's on a toxic planet in the same system as Zaratan. So after the update, the colour palette has changed quite considerably. It's not really a big issue for me. I don't come to this space very often. It was really only built as a bit of a one-off so I could make that vid. Next up is the Old Mill, which is built on a planet discovered by fellow traveller and building legend Joyroth. This is built on a floating island planet. And after the update, it seems that the planet was pretty well untouched. Even the trees seem to be the same colour. It's a bit of a relief really, because this planet is a community build planet and there were several other bases built here. The next one I checked was the Roundhouse, which was a part of a glitch-free vid tutorial that I had made quite recently with these lovely canals. And after the update, the main difference now is that the canal watercolour has changed, which is a bit disappointing to be honest. The canals were basically the main feature of this place, but now it looks a little bit more polluted, unfortunately. Next, I checked up on what I considered to be my home planet. This is Vanilla Sky 7. This is probably my favourite planet that I've ever discovered, and luckily it survived the previous Worlds 1 update. It actually was improved, the grass was made a bit whiter. So yep, I was pretty nervous when I went to visit this one. And yes, it seems that I was blessed by the nomanssky gods again. The grass is still that lovely white, and there hasn't been any major change to the landscape. So then I was curious about what had happened under the water, so I went down to check this small underwater base on the same planet. The water has changed colour a little bit, but as with Zaratan, because of the blue skies and the clouds, when it's a sunny day like this, it's actually not too bad. And as we can see, it's a totally different story under the water. The whole ocean floor has basically been reconfigured with all of this lovely new colorscape that they've done. And we even have a few mantas swimming around with their iridescent bodies. They are quite beautiful. And the next base that I checked on was my Onsen hot spring resort. This is my only 3,000 part base, plus it's on a community planet, so I was just a bit concerned to see how it had affected everyone. And in this case, the planet basically remained unchanged again, except the water had actually changed to a nicer colour this time. It does make me wonder if there is any kind of correlation between how much a planet changes and how many bases are on that planet, especially if they are from different players. Let me know in the comments if you think that's a thing, or am I just talking crap? The cave system that contains the onsen seems to be intact, which is good, and I've also been able to retain the bioluminescent grass, which is always a plus. And finally, as with my previous before-after video for Worlds Part 1, I went back to visit one of my old favourite bases, the Sanctuary 7 base, which has changed I think 4 times so far, so I thought I'd visit and see what was in store for me this time. Well, true to form, it's basically completely changed again, but this time I have these interesting rock and tree formations, which are kind of cool. Actually, I quite like them. This base has become a kind of relic anyway, so the idea that the forest is slowly taking it back over again, I don't really mind that much. It kind of almost adds a bit of charm to the place. I know it can be quite devastating when you find the perfect place, the perfect planet, and you build a base there and it all gets turned asunder. But I think with the addition of Worlds Part 2, there are literally trillions of new opportunities out there. Please leave a like and subscribe if you wish. And as always, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you later.